What is up, fam? It is your boy, the conservative bear, and I'm here with y'all on this Friday night raw. It's good to see y'all here today, and I got a lot of news to talk about with you guys tonight. I'm also simulcast on the conservative Chicanos, so shout out over there if you're watching on that channel, and we are ready to rock and roll. So I'm not even going to waste any more of your time. So let's just get into this. Alrighty. So the first story that I want to talk about is this story about the California man getting 280 years in prison for molesting little girls, videotaping them without their knowledge. Now, can you believe that? Can you believe that? It's getting that ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous where these pedos are getting so brave that they're doing stuff and they're videotaping it. Judge called Jason Robert Porter's accusations horrific, dastardly conduct. A convicted pedophile will spend the rest of his life in prison after being convicted of 52 counts related to sex abuse against children just this month. Jason Robert Porter, 49, abused 4 girls between the ages of 1 and 13 from 2008 to 2016 and videotaped dozens of victims without their knowledge. Dozens of victims, videotaping them between the ages of 1 and 13. 1 and 13. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being a 1-year-old and this happening to you? You have just started life and this is already going down with you, and this is what you do. This is the patheticness that we have here. And here's the thing. Why should this man have to spend the rest of his life in prison? This man should have been taken out of the courtroom in cuffs and have the gallows already built for him. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Why should taxpayers have to fund this man to be alive? That's basically what's going on. He's getting a free ride, 3 hots and a cot, and spending the rest of life inside of a jail cell. Granted, it's not much of a life, but why are California residents having to fund that? For what this man did, ruining these victims' lives, and then videotaping, have the audacity to videotape it, and getting 3 hots in a cot. 3 hots in a cot for this man who sat there and molested kids and videotaped it. Why don't we just go straight to the gallows? Why don't we go straight to drawn quarterly? Why don't we go straight ending their lives? Why are the taxpayers having to fund this man to spend the rest of his life in prison? Why? Why? I mean, he's going to get fed a bunch of burritos out of the other end of his ass, but still, why? He was convicted of 16 felony counts of sex crimes against children and child pornography earlier this month, as well as 36 misdemeanors of invasion of privacy. One of Porter's victims, an 11-year-old girl, testified at the trial that Porter molested her when she went to his house to play with his 2 adolescent sons when she was just 4 years old. I pretended I was asleep, the victim testified earlier this month, according to the local newspaper. Dude, that right there should be enough for it. When you got an 11-year-old girl having to relive this horrible crime over and over and over again, obviously it still affects her to that she knows she pretended to be asleep while this monster did whatever he did to her. And yet the taxpayers got to fund it. The taxpayers got to fund his food. The taxpayers got to fund everything for this monster. And yet he gets to live. He gets to live. Probably no remorse. I don't even think he'll even do the entire time with the way California prisons are. So sick of this. So sick of doing research on stories, and I find out that he gets life in prison. Life in prison for ruining somebody else's life. Your life should be taken from you. If you commit these kind of atrocities to a human being, you should live your life should be over just like that. Especially when you get an 11-year-old girl taking the stand and saying, you did it. The young victim's bravery while testifying in court in front of her abuser inspires me to continue my work on these cases and fight for justice for all survivors of sexual abuse in this country, Shabra said after Porter was sentenced. Porter waived his right to a jury by trial, so the case was heard by San Luis Obispo County Superior Court Judge Barry L. LaBarbera, who found him guilty and sentenced him to 280 years to life, 5 years plus 5 years. Dude, to me, it doesn't matter, man. Having to pay for somebody who is this kind of monster, dude, there should be no more. It should be a public execution. Public. That's the problem with what's going on in this world no more. It's not public no more. Nobody knows that this is going to happen. Nobody knows that this happens. You don't even find out until the person's already dead when they make the announcement. If you brought it out to the public and you actually saw somebody, if you brought them out into the public and you actually saw somebody hanged or somebody shot or firing squad or drawn quartering, dude, you really think these people would be out there still doing this? That is the real deterrent. The unknown is not scary. For most people, dude, they think about the electric chair, they're like, okay, that's fine. Or they think about lethal injection while you just go to sleep. But if you actually drag them out of the courtroom and you could actually see them shitting themselves and you could actually see them crying themselves to the horses that are waiting or the cars sitting there waiting for them, and you can see them pissing themselves while they're being dragged out. You see them screaming in terror while their arms are being handcuffed to a bumper and then their legs. And then you have the car, and then you can see them freaking scream when the cars pull up, start driving the other direction. And then their bodies are hovering over the ground before they say, take care of business. That's what will stop this. When you actually see somebody go through that, not on like a movie where it's makeup, but actually see that something like that broadcast on like PBS on public broadcasting, public execution, pedophile, molested 60 people, live at 1:00. He gets his last lunch and then off to the car, screaming and crying. Now that is justice. That's what I think. And you know what? Have the victim's parents in one car. Have the dad in one car. Have the mom in the other car. Have grandma and grandpa in the other two cars. Let's get this taken care of. Instead of this crap, instead of having to pay the taxpayers, I'd rather pay for the gas for that. Dude, I would even fork over my tax dollars to buy the cars to do this. Have an execution 1, execution 2, execution 3, execution 4. That's what I think. That's what I think. Let me ask you guys a question. Should we do public executions for pedophiles? Smash a 1 if you think yes. Smash a 2 for no. If you think public executions for pedophiles is good, smash a 1. Because I personally stand up for it. I think it should go down. Tired of seeing these kids having to live with this for the rest of their lives. I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. And for me, this was very difficult to watch, LaBarbera said during the sentencing. According to the San Luis Obispo Tribune, this was horrific, dastardly conduct. Not only were the victims particularly young, a lot of this kind of conduct was committed while they were sleeping. While they were sleeping. Are pretending to be asleep. Are pretending to be asleep. Some of these kids, dude, and some of these kids are never going to be the same again. You could give them all the therapy you want. You could give them all you want, dude. But these kids will never be the same. They will never have their innocence. You've taken that. This man has taken that from these kids. Wasn't given up freely. It was taken. And not even of age. 1 year old to 13 years old. The only benefit you have for a 1-year-old is they'll probably forget. But anybody else for the rest of their lives, any kid that could remember, has cognitive memory, is ruined not ruined, but they're going to be devastated for the rest of their life. Therapy. They're not going to be like being touched by their husband. They're not going to be like being touched by their wife or whatever. You've ruined that. You've taken it. And they get a free ride, 3 hots in a cot every single day, yard time. He don't care. This is pathetic. Even if it is 280 years, I get it. It's life. But to me, it's still not enough. You ruined somebody's life. We should take yours. You ruined a child, an innocent child's life. We should take yours. And there should not be any ifs, ands, buts about it. It should be done deal. You're done. Especially when you have a survivor willing to come out and speak in front of you and tell you to your face that you did this, that she had to sit there and pretend to be asleep, and you have the audacity to sit there and probably relive it in your head when you saw her. That's how sick these people are. But you get 3 hots in a cot while she gets therapy. You get 3 hots in a cot while she has night terrors. You get 3 hots in the cots while she sleeps in cold sweats at night, remembering what you did. You get 3 hots in the cots while she gets prescription medication to deal with the anxiety that she has to live with for the rest of her life. That's what I hate about the judicial system. That's what I hate about it. That people like this could survive and live. We should go back to the laws of the 1800s and forget about it. You get convicted of this crime, you are done. No appeal. The only thing I'm willing to give you was a last meal. And you know what your last meal will be? Mush. Everything you got in the thing blended up and you can eat it like that. That's all you get. Because you ruined a child's life. You stole innocence. That's what I hate about the judicial system. That's what it comes out to. That's what people are not thinking of. That's what people are going to sit there and say, well, he just, what if he's wrongly convicted? I don't care. I don't care. There was obviously enough sufficient evidence to prove that he did this. He's done. There should be no second chance. Why would we let somebody out? Or let's say somebody does this one time to a child. There would have to be seriously, serious instigations. The only way that I would think that somebody should be able to get off with, not dying is if the girl's 16 in a 21 and up bar drinking. And then at that point, the parents should be responsible, because why the hell is your 16-year-old daughter in a bar drinking? Because I've seen that. That would be like the only explanation for it. But if you're doing it to somebody 13 and under, you're done. D-U-N. 13 and under, you're done. You get no pass go, no $200, no nothing. That's how I feel about this. But that would be the only way I would say, okay, you do 10 years in prison, is if this young 16-year-old girl was in a bar and drinking and you make that mistake. But if you literally did this to a 13 and under dude, you know the difference. You could tell somebody's 13 years old. Don't give me that shit. That's my thoughts. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to another subject before I start yelling even more into this microphone. I think I've said enough about that. It literally pisses me off. This pisses me off. And you know what, Canucks? If there's any Canadians watching, this is what you get. Canucks, this is what you get. You sat there and pandered over and over and over in England. This goes for you too. You've pandered to the left so much. You backed Black Lives Matter. You backed, getting professors fired. You backed all this coming. You are getting what you deserve. You get every bit of this. And I'm glad this is happening. Boris slams Canadian anti-colonial protesters who teared this bitch down as they toppled the statues of the Queen and Queen Victoria and threw one of Captain Hook in a harbor amid anger of the deaths of 1,000 indigenous children found in mass graves. Boris Johnson told today decried that the mob who celebrated the tearing down this bitch as they toppled the desecrated statues of Queen Victoria and Queen Elizabeth II during Canada Day protest, sparked by the discovery of mass graves of indigenous people, schoolchildren. Now it's coming to your town. You're sitting there toppling our statue. These people are toppling our statue. You think there's buses coming into Canada? You think buses are coming into all these other towns and watching this shit burn down? This is what you get. This is the crap that's been going on for too damn long. You sit there and you pander to a bunch of people and they don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your country. All they want to do is do things to make themselves feel good. That's all this is for. That's what all this is for. They don't care about the indigenous people that were buried under there. Why should it? I mean, I understand that it's a terrible situation. Dude, but Canada's been free from the crown since 1876. Why does this even matter? Why are you tearing down Queen Elizabeth II? She's like the peacekeeper. She's like the face of Canada. Other than that, you run your own shit. You're toppling statues and you don't even know what you're toppling. Why don't you find the statues of all the prime ministers that served that country for all these years and topple their statues, burn them, take them out of the books? The monarchs, dude, they're placeholders. All they are is they're there to collect money and wave to the crowd. And you're sitting there literally crying over toppling their statues. For the most part, they're dead. You think Queen Elizabeth II gives a shit what's going on over there in Canada? She don't care. Queen Victoria has been dead since 1902 or something like that. Nobody cares. But just for shits and giggles, let's play this video. I'm gonna play a video.
No more genocide on prisoners! Bring our children home! Bring our children home!
Good job, people. Your tax dollars are going to pay to clean that all up. Your tax dollars are going to pay to clean that all up. Like they literally did this. They don't even know what to do with themselves. There's not even a really big crowd there. They're wasting their time. They're destroying inanimate objects. Welcome to Canada, where the left rules. Dude, what are you supposed to do to that? I mean, seriously, what is the point? Boris Johnson today decried the mob that celebrated tearing this bitch in scenes reminiscent of BLM protests, where a hit list of racist statues in the US and UK was drawn up for destruction after the murder of George Floyd. The bronze sculptures of Britain's current monarch and her great-great-grandmother in Winnipeg were hauled down, daubed with red paint, and even appeared to have strangled with Mohawk flags. Way to go there, Canada. Way to go, Canada. You really strangled an inanimate object. Way to go. Everybody, let's give a round of applause for Canada. Good job, Canada. Good job. You guys are so wonderful. Seriously. Seriously, like what is the point? I mean, does an inanimate object really make you that sad? Does an inanimate object make you feel something on the inside? Because if you do, then there's therapy for that. If you could drive down by a statue and have it actually literally offend you, then that's a you problem. The statue's been there longer than a million freaking years, probably since the 1800s. Nobody's had a problem with it until the left started getting a voice. If you literally are offended by an inanimate object, then that's a problem that you need help with. Because I'm serious, as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen an inanimate object freaking come talk to me. Hey, we're gonna burn them. We're gonna burn those, kill those school children in that building. Never once have I heard an inanimate object talk like that to me. And if it did, then I guess there's a problem with inside my head, and it's called schizophrenia. And I think I need to be on prescription medications, because this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. With no police to be seen anywhere, go figure. Protesters in Orange, led by members of the left-wing anti-colonial I don't know more group campaigning for Canada Day to be canceled, tied ropes to the necks of the statues, ripped them from the ground, to the chants of "No to genocide, bring her down." Really? No to genocide? I'm sorry, but the last group that I've known to be victims of genocide are the Jews. The Jews are the only group of people that I know in the 20th century up to the 21st century that's been a victim of genocide. I'm pretty sure their group, I don't know more. I'm pretty sure that there's no more genocide. I mean, is anybody afraid that their race, gender, group is going to be, or whatever you identify as, is going to be destroyed? Are you scared you're going to be killed for the color of your skin, or for any other reason in today's day and age? Do you feel like you're going to be, your entire group or lineage is going to be wiped out from the face of the planet? I think not. I don't think we have somebody in the White House right now that actually comprehends a damn thing. So I think that we're pretty good. I think even Donald Trump there, we were pretty damn good there. We don't have Adolf Hitler in the White House trying to, genocide anybody. I think that the Jews are the last group that's been the victim of genocide as of right now. 1,500 miles west of the statue of Captain Hook, a statue of Captain Cook, the first Briton to land in British Columbia, was also pulled down in the city of Victoria before being hurled into the harbor, in scenes reminiscent of the destruction of Edward Colston statue in Bristol last year. Cook's statue was replaced by a wooden dress, a color and symbol for indigenous people in Canada, with the plinth vandalized with colonizer. Seriously? If there wasn't even, here's the thing, there wouldn't even be a Canada if this man hadn't landed there. It would probably be called something else. British Columbia wouldn't have been discovered for a longer time if it wasn't for Captain Cook. You wouldn't have your land, you dumbasses. It's getting to the point where, like, I'm literally like reading these stories anymore, and I'm like, why? Like, what's the point? What are you trying to prove, Canada? Seriously, what are you trying to prove? I'm sure there's places all over the country where there's other groups and statues that you could be mad about. I mean, you guys are already trying to get rid of the police that's going to protect you when somebody goes beats your ass. So you want them gone. Then you want to pull down statues that recognize your history as a country. So let's get rid of them. The Queen of England, who probably Queen Victoria gave you your sovereignty of your own country. I guess, screw her too, or you would still be under British rule. Let's see there's so many other problems going on that I think Canada has bigger problems than what they want to look at. It's getting to the point where, dude, what is the point? Why are you guys still pissed off about? Donald Trump has been out of office, so I don't know why you guys are still crying, especially here in the United States. There's nothing you could do to change the 150,000 indigenous Canadian children. They're gone. Pulling down the statue is not going to change that. What do you want to happen? Like, seriously, you want to end Canada Day, which is a celebration of you being your own country, and yet it doesn't make sense. You want to rewrite history that's already been written. It's frustrating. Downing Street has today condemned the toppling of the statue of the Queen and Queen Victoria in Canada during the protests over the discovery of unmarked graves belonging to Indigenous children. I'm going to play another video. Why? Like, seriously, why? I wish that statue would have hit somebody. That would have made me a lot happier. Like if that statue would have fell and crushed one of these idiots, as long as it wasn't a child, I would have been pleased. Idiot, we're rewarding idiots out there. Like, seriously, we're rewarding people that are complete idiotic fools causing destruction of property. And you know what? They'll probably be labeled celebration. And exactly, Renee, where are the damn police at? Why is it nobody trying to stop this? Why is nobody trying to stop this? Queen Victoria gave Canada their basic freedom, and you're still not happy. You're being mad over something that happened probably after her rule or her reign. And, I'm pretty sure Queen Elizabeth doesn't know what a damn thing that's actually going on in Canada. I'm sure people in Britain doesn't know what's going on in Canada right now because they're completely disconnected. Completely disconnected. Between the 18th century and the 1970s, 150,000 Indigenous Canadians children were forced to convert to Christianity and not allowed to speak the native languages after being sent to Catholic schools. Many were beaten and verbally abused, and up to 6,000 are said to have died. But the policy of the Canadian government appears to have little to do with the British royal family, who were ceremonial heads of state. Exactly. Why are you taking this out on the queens? Literally, they had nothing to do with this. The British royal family was completely disconnected. Canada has been its own government. This is something that you should be looking up to your prime ministers of the past. Do your fucking history, and maybe you'll learn something that you're basically tearing down something that doesn't even matter. Nobody in the British royal family did this. This was all done by the Canadian government. But yet you got to be mad at something. We got to destroy something. I mean, seriously, do you think there's like a powwow or something going on in Canada where they're sitting there like, hey, so they found 150,000 indigenous children down there. Who can we blame? Well, can we blame the prime minister? No. We can't blame the prime minister. They're still in charge of us. Well, who else can we do? What else can we do? Oh, you know, people will come out if we pull down Queen Victoria. But why Queen Victoria? Because I mean, at that time she was the ceremonial head of state. Really? But I think we've been out of Canadian lives. We've been independent for a long time. No. But a lot of people don't know that. So if we tear down these statues, people will come and clap. Oh, okay. Let's go out and do that. And this is what happens. I mean, do you think that's what happens, chat? Seriously, chat, do you think this is what really goes on in these meetings? Or do you think it's just a bunch of idiots just say, come on, string her up? Like I would really like to be in a meeting where they plan this out. Because I think it would be interesting. 350 Native American boarding schools were also established in the United States during the early 19th and mid 20th century to civilize Native Americans into Euro-American culture. Yesterday's protests in Canada raised the perception of them spreading to the U.S. and similar investigations into mass graves there after claims of neglect, abuse, and death. So let me get this straight. Let me get comfortable for this. I'm gonna drop some knowledge on y'all. The Catholic Church and the British royal family have been completely disconnected. If anybody from Canada is listening to this, please hear me out. The Catholic Church and the British royal family have been disconnected since Henry VIII married Anne Boleyn. Okay? Now, just a little more knowledge for y'all. After Henry VIII died, his son took office, took the crown. Guess what? They were still totally disconnected from the Catholic Church. Then Queen Mary took the crown and she put the Catholic Church back in control of the British royal family. That lasted about maybe 5 to 10 years. I don't know it off the top of my head. Then Queen Elizabeth I takes the reign. She again does her father's wishes, boots out the Catholic Church. That's why there's the Church of England. Okay. Now, just reading this article, okay, y'all, if you actually dig into this, it says these were Catholic Church places, right? Catholicism and the Church of England are completely separate entities. Just so you know that, Canadians. So you're being upset over the fact that the Catholic Church, who's its own entity in Rome, killed a bunch of Canadian or indigenous people. You should be attacking the Pope, not the Queen of England, not the Queen of anywhere else. It was the Catholic Church policy that they're doing this to. Nothing to do with government, you dumbasses. Do some research. You're literally pulling down a statue of somebody that has nothing to do with this. Smash a 1 if you understand me. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I mean, I'm seriously like that's serious truth right there. If you literally did your research, you would know this. This is stupid. It makes me so frustrated on how dumb people could be. You're literally tearing down something that has nothing to do with anything. Be mad at the Pope. Maybe these are Catholics that don't know the difference between the Church of England and the Catholic Church. I mean, because if you literally look into this, and I know a lot of Catholics are going to be pissed off at me, but it's the truth. It says right here, Catholic. Catholic. They were part of the Catholic school. Now, anybody that knows, right here, Catholic school, boom, Catholic schools. That means private schools, Catholic schools. These two are completely different because Catholic schools are different than the Canadian government. Jeez, I'm sitting here like literally like irritated with how dumb people are. It doesn't take a scientist to figure this out. I mean, I already knew that, that the Catholic Church and the Catholic Church and the British royal family were separated because anybody that knows a damn thing knows that the whole reason why King Henry VIII separated from the Catholic Church was so he could pound out Anne Boleyn. Boom! Separate. He went his own way. Basically told the Pope, F you, I'm going to marry Anne Boleyn and get a divorce for my first wife, Queen Mary. God, it's stupid. People are stupid. Frankly, I think it is people trying to link and use the awfulness of this tragedy that have been uncovered for their own own politician, Republican views. Republican? Really? Really? You're going to blame this on the Republicans? Seriously, you're going to blame this on Republicans? Dude, this has nothing to do with politics. This is a church problem. This should be looked at by call the Pope up and be like, yo, dog, what was going on over here, homie? Whatever the Pope's name is now. Be like, hey, yo, homie, what was going on over here around this time? Can we look at your center where you hide all the extensive Christian stuff? No? Why? Because you don't want a black guy on the Catholic Church? Got it. Thank you. I mean, it's that simple. I know I'm being a little facetious here, but dude, seriously, it irritates me to the core on how dumb people could be. A little research but I bet you they're probably too damn lazy to go do a little research and find out that this is two separate entities. Before you watch this video, did you not know that there were two separate entities? If you knew that the Catholic Church and England separated back and during the what was that family called? That dynasty called? During Henry VIII, smash a one. Yeah, Catherine of Spain. You're right. My bad, Mickey. You're right. Henry VIII divorced Catherine of Spain to marry Anne Boleyn. Thank you. I couldn't remember that. I couldn't remember Catherine of Spain. If you knew that they were separate, press a 1. If you didn't know, press a 2. I would really like to know how many people out there knew that the Church of England was separate. And they're trying to link these two. It's that stupid. Ignorance. Ignorance blows my mind, man, on how dumb people could be. Seriously, ignorance, dude, it's not an excuse. Do your research. Look it up. Find the truth. It's in there somewhere. You should have known this. You're tearing down statues that literally mean nothing. Dude, the British royal family didn't have nothing to do with it. They're already separate from Canada. Plus, this is a church issue. Fucking stupid. And Boris Johnson's right, man. This is stupid. Now I'm going to get a little controversial here. I'm seriously going to get a little controversial here. I am so frustrated with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is stupid already. I mean, they need to get their head out of their ass. They need to figure out what they're going to stand on, because it's already to the point where it's laughable already. The more you pander to the left, the more that they're going to continue to want more. They're trying to do, I'm all for whatever you do in your bedroom is your business. I get it. I don't care if you're trans, lesbian, gay, bi, or whatever. But the fact that these people keep going after these Christian businesses to get them fines and shut down is ridiculous already. It's stupid, and it should be a crime. You already know that they don't want your business. A Christian-owned business doesn't want business from the LGBTQ community. Get it through your heads. And they have the right to refuse service to anybody. And the fact that these people continue to go into these businesses demanding service is an insult. And then you sue for discrimination. That's what I'm pissed off about. These conservative judges, they need to pick a side, because you were put there to vote, to cast your vote on anything. Make these decisions. And the fact that you sidestep this is ridiculous. Conservatives slammed Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett for siding with liberals and declining to hear an appeal of a Southern Baptist florist who refused to sell flowers to a gay couple for their wedding. If they don't want to sell it to you, go somewhere else. It's obvious they don't want your money. Write a blog about it on Facebook. Tell the rest of the LGBTQ community, don't give them your money, and everything will be okay. But yet you continue to do this, and you're trying to drive businesses out of business. Stop it. Go somewhere else. Open your own fucking flower shop. Stop trying to drive businesses out of office. Businesses out of business. And the Supreme Court is complicit in this, because they could have taken this case. They should take this case and I know the reason why they probably didn't want to hear it is simply because it's Pride Month. Or not, yeah, it's Pride Month. They would have heard this during Pride Month. They would have been slapped and called a bunch of things, and they didn't want to hear it. That's how ridiculous this is getting. The Supreme Court on Friday refused to hear an appeal by a florist fined by Washington State for refusing to make a flower arrangement for a same-sex wedding because of her Christian beliefs, dodging another major case pitting gay rights against religious liberty. We have the First Amendment. The First Amendment says, guess what? I have the right to practice my religion. And if you don't want to hear this, Supreme Court, how are you supposed to defend the Constitution? Your job is to interpret the Constitution. And this is something I feel like is infringing on religious freedoms. Because it's not like this was the only floral shop in this town. It's not like this was the only floral shop in the world. I'm sure they could have called 1-800-Flowers and got a flower bouquet made for their wedding. Why are they so uppity about not hearing these cases? These cases are important to hear. They step on religious freedoms, whether you want to be Christian or not. Dude, can you imagine if this group would have went to like a satanic church, satanic florist, and they were like, "Nah, dude, I'm not building your flower bouquet." Are you gonna sue the Satanist? No, you're going to walk out. No, you're going after Christian businesses, knowing damn well that, I bet you on that window somewhere was the Christian fish. But you're targeting, the LGBTQ community is targeting these groups, these businesses on purpose. They're trying to drive the baker out of Colorado out of business, and now they're going to try to drive this florist out of Washington out of business. The justices turned away an appeal by Baronel Stutzman, owner of Arlene's Flowers in the city of Richland, after the lower court upheld the Washington's actions. The court offered no explanation of its decision, but the three of the court's conservative justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch, said they would have heard the case, and they should have heard the case. Brett, dude, here's the thing. It seems like anytime we put a conservative judges in there, we're batting like 5%. Like these judges are not siding with conservatives. They're always siding with the liberals. It's a shame. It's literally a shame on where we're at right now. Why can't we just hear? Why couldn't you hear the case and make a ruling? Are you scared? You know what, Brett Kavanaugh, pick up your balls and put them back in your scrotum, dude, because you need to start hearing cases like this. You can't be afraid to tackle something that's going to make you look bad. You have to hear these cases. Dude, you're turning down cases that affect the Second Amendment. You're turning down cases that affect businesses. And businesses are the backbone of our country. The case hinges on tensions between anti-discrimination laws and First Amendment rights, with Stutzman's lawyers arguing that her right to freedom of religion had been infringed. Religious people should be free to live out their beliefs about marriage, they said, in trying to persuade the Supreme Court to hear the case. It's true. You should be able to practice your religion anyway. And if turning down making the cake and turning down that money infringes on your beliefs, then God damn it, it's your right. You're the one losing business. How is this affecting the LGBT community? How is this affecting the LGBTQ community? There's always other flower shops in this country where you could go get your flowers made. You don't need to trying to drive businesses out of office or businesses out of business. Now you're going to affect this woman's life. She probably have to pay a big ass fine in Washington because she didn't want to make a bouquet of flowers. You want people to go against their religious beliefs to appease you. Go somewhere else. Get your cake made somewhere else. Get your bouquet made somewhere else. There's other businesses that will support your beliefs. These people don't want to support their beliefs, and they shouldn't be forced to. The case hinges between anti-discrimination laws and First Amendment rights, with Stutzman arguing that her case of freedom of religion had been infringed. Religious people should be, the decision comes days after the court handed down a unanimous ruling that a Catholic foster agency in Philadelphia could refuse to screen same-sex couples as potential parents for religious reasons. Stutzman's case is similar to a case that came when it came to the cake. On the occasion, Justice ruled 7-2 for Masterpiece Cake Shop, but did not offer a broader rule impeding anti-discrimination rules against religious freedoms. You have no balls. Stutzman refused service to a gay couple, Robert Ingersoll and Kurt Freed, in 2013. Stutzman, a member of the Southern Baptist denomination, believes that marriage should be exclusively between a man and a woman. That is their right. In 2019, Washington State Supreme Court ruled that she discriminated against the couple, and her lawyers vowed to take the case to the U.S. Supreme Court. The state court previously ruled against Stutzman in 2017, but was ordered to reconsider the case after the Masterpiece Cake Shop result. The Washington Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the state courts did not act with the animosity towards religion when they ruled against Stutzman, broke the state's anti-discrimination laws. Okay, hear me out. I am for states' rights. I am. I'm for states' rights as long as they don't infringe on the Constitution. The Constitution is the building block that our country stands upon. Now, I get it. If there was anti-discrimination laws, I get it. But there has to be a limit to it. When your anti-discrimination laws violates the Constitution, that's a problem. It's free enterprise. You know what? Maybe Stutzman doesn't want to make the cake or make the flowers. I get it. But if she doesn't want to take that money from the LGBTQ community, maybe another flower shop 5 blocks away will take all that money and be happy. Be happy to take all that money. And they should. They should. This is not a one hokey town with one flower shop. I guarantee it. There's more than enough places for them to get flowers, but they're sitting there targeting these businesses. That's the problem I have with this. Is they're targeting these businesses on purpose. You can't tell me that they're not, because the master cake or the masterpiece cake shop. Guess what? After the ruling on the cake, where they said that he didn't, that the master cake chef didn't violate it. Guess what happened? And the next day, a transgender called and asked for a cake. He refused, and that person was a lawyer. The person calling in to request a transgender cake was a lawyer, targeting this business. And then he got slapped with another fine. And guess what? That's going to go to the Supreme Court. This is the problem that we're dealing with, the targeting. You're going after these businesses on purpose. The Supreme Court, the ACLU says, victory. The Supreme Court confirmed that LGBTQ people should receive equal service anytime they walk into a store. Yes. Yes, they should. Yes, they should. I agree. You walk into Safeway, you should get the same service as a straight guy. You walk into anything else, yeah. But you go into a private business, dude, you're walking into you're going to a small business. They have the right to refuse service to anyone. That's a problem. You can refuse service. If they were cordial, it's not like they walked like they walked in there and this lady was like, "Get the F out of here, you F and F." It didn't go down like that. She probably politely said, "You know, I don't make those kind of cakes. Hope you have a good day." Or, "I don't make those kind of flowers. Hope you have a good day." But you know, John Smith down the road will be more than happy to make those flowers for you. My religious beliefs don't. And I guarantee they're like, I'm gonna press charges against you. Stop targeting them. Don't give them your business. Don't give them your business. The Alliance Defending Freedom, a Christian group which brought the case, said it would fight on. Barnell's husband kindly served a gay customer for years before declining to make art for a ceremony that's sacred in her religion. See, she's always made the flowers for them. It's just she don't support gay marriage. She'll make anything else for you. Anything else for you. You want a bar mitzvah? Guess what? We'll get you your bar mitzvah. You want to do this? We got you. I just don't support gay marriage. Good luck. John Smith down the road. She was sued and persecuted for acting on deeply hard-held beliefs. SCOTUS's decision not to hear the case is disappointing, but our fight isn't over. Her lawyer pursued two-pronged approach. Not only did they say that the state had violated her right to religious freedoms, they also argued that arranging flowers was a form of creative expression and thus protected under free speech provisions. Boom. Yep, I think so. I think so. I think that creating flowers is artistic. Last month, Kavanaugh and Barrett also sided with the majority when they declined to rule against Obamacare. Where in the world is Amy Coney Barrett? Asked conservative columnist Josh Hammer on Friday. However, the outcome was welcomed by the ACLU. Today's decision by the U.S. Supreme Court puts an end to our case and sends a message to the entire country that everyone, regardless of their sexual orientation, should be treated equally under the law. And I think they should be treated equally. I think the LGBTQ community should be treated just as equally as we are. As a heterosexual person, I just don't think that you should force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. If they don't want to make that money, honey, then don't give them that money. Plain and simple. If you don't want to get that money from them, then don't give it to them. There's plenty of other businesses that would give it to you, that they would take. I'm pretty sure that when it comes to this, when it comes to this case, I'm sure that there was somebody else out there that they could have easily got into this and got it taken care of. But yet they're sitting there trying to purposely get this and get these businesses closed. It's an agenda that they're working on, and they're continuing to push that narrative, and they're going to continually to push it on the American people. And unfortunately, when it comes to this, it is what it is. And it's up to small businesses to come together and Christian businesses to come together and fight back, I think, because I think it's a shame that a small business can be put out of business simply because of their religious beliefs, and it's not right. Smash a one if you agree with me. Moving on. I'm working with one monitor, everybody, so it's kind of hard to manage between the two monitors, between the one monitor. You know, there was a saying that I heard a long time ago that was that a lot of truth is said in jest. And then when it comes to this, I think it's hilarious. How is it that a man could outwoman a woman? Seriously, how is it that a man can outwoman a woman? And I know this is it's a joke, guys, so don't take it personal or don't take it serious or don't take it serious. But hear me out. Do you Let me ask the chat an honest to God question before I go into this story. Do you think that a trans and I'm being serious, guys. Do you believe a transgender has the right to compete in a woman's pageant? And let me break this down for you. And I wish Rex was on this on the show or in the chat because I would love to hear his opinion. And this is the reason why I'm bringing this up is this. You have drag queen competitions all the time. I don't think heterosexual women could compete in drag queen competitions. I really, and you know, and drag. I heard drag shows are awesome. I've heard that from several people, straight men, straight women. I heard drag shows are amazing, and I've never had the privilege to go to one. And you know, I wouldn't even be against going to one because simply saying that it's a form of entertainment, and I think it would be fun to see that. But to sit there and they have their competition. My point is this: transgenders and all that, they have their competition. They're called drag shows, and I heard they're entertaining. And RuPaul, I think, became a millionaire off of drag shows. And I could be wrong, but I think RuPaul has earned millions and millions of dollars from drag shows, and he's taught drag makeup and all that stuff, and he's made a very successful living. And I'm all for freedom of expression. I think it's a wonderful art for if that's how somebody wants to get down. They should be able. This is America. The freedom, your freedoms are here. But the Miss USA pageant is for women. And I really wish I knew the answer to this. I don't think that drag shows allow biological women to compete. And I think that if that's the case, then I think that transgenders should not be able to compete in Miss America simply because, again, they have their own organization that they themselves have separated from a traditional woman. It's sad that I have to say that. So why can't Miss USA have that same segregation when it comes to transgenders? There's competitions for everybody out there, especially in beauty pageants. And that's the honest to God's truth. And I'm all for it. I'm all for LGBT competitions. I'm all for that. I think that they could be great, and I think they could be encouraging. And I honestly believe that they could make, the people that compete in drag shows. I think it makes them feel good about themselves. But here's my thought though. But if Miss USA wants to be Miss USA, you can't have a transgender competing in that competition simply because they will not let a regular biological woman compete in drag shows. You have your competitions, and I think drag shows are great. Big business, dude. Bars make thousands and thousands of dollars off of drag shows. Catalina Enriquez was crowned Miss Nevada USA on Sunday and will become the first openly transgender woman to compete in the Miss USA pageant. With the platform centered on transgender awareness and mental health, they were already pandering. Enriquez, 27, beat out 21 other contestants at the South Point Hotel Casino in Las Vegas. I didn't have the easiest journey in life, she said, according to KVVU TV. I struggle with physical and sexual abuse. I struggle with mental health. I didn't have much growing up. I didn't have the support, but I'm still able to thrive, and I'm still able to survive and become a trailblazer for many. Here's the thing. And you know what? I applaud you. I applaud you, Cataluna, for you to overcome what you've overcame to be able to compete in any way, shape, or form. I applaud you. You are a strong individual to be able to overcome physical abuse, sexual abuse, and the mental health issues I'm sure you got from receiving both. But it doesn't give you the right to compete against natural born women in a competition that was set up for natural born women. And I wouldn't even be against them having like an LGBTQ competition where they could compete and, Miss Transgender. I would be all for that. I'm a firm believer in that. If you want to have a competition that celebrates transgender women, do it. And I'm sure you would get millions upon millions of dollars in sponsorship because there's a lot of woke companies. So I would applaud you for doing something like that. If they want to step up and maybe I'll come up with that organization, man, and make that money. Miss Transgender, believe me, you would make millions. Sponsors would flood out of the air. Money would be just given to you, and you're going to go off and running. And as an organization, I would even make it where I get the money, where I'll buy them a generic crown and still make that money. I guarantee it'd be a big business. Have Miss Transgender USA. Man, I'd be rich. I'd be sitting there like, I'm in the money. I'm in the money. I'm in the money. And it would be great. And people from all over the country could compete for Miss Transgender. Have Miss Transgender USA or Colorado, Miss Transgender Nevada, Miss Transgender California, Miss Transgender Texas. Dude, Gary, I think it would be big business. Big business. And trust me, dude, I should so do. That's a great idea. Miss Transgender, dude, the sponsors would roll in. The Miss Nevada USA organization congratulated Enrique for her historic win on social media and shared the hashtag #BeVisible. In March, Enriquez, who previously competed in trans-Pacific pageants, became the first transgender woman crowned Miss Silver State USA, the main preliminary for Miss USA Nevada. See, there's already trans-Pacific pageants. I didn't know that. You can make that, dude. Why do you need why do you have to push a woman out? Here's the thing. How are you going to push out a natural born woman who probably needs the scholarship because she's probably broke ass too? And you are going to take that money from her where she needed it. And you are. Today, I am a proud transgender woman of color. Personally, I've learned that my differences do not make me less than. No, they don't. It makes me more than. No, it makes you equal to then. She said in the Las Vegas Review, I know that my uniqueness will take me to all my destinations and whatever I need to go through in life. You are equal to, you are not bigger, you are not more than a natural born woman. Well, kind of you are, but you are still a human being. It doesn't make you better than anybody. Enriquez, who is Filipina American, designs her own outfits, including rainbow sequin gown she wore Sunday night in honor of Pride Month, and all of those who don't get a chance to spread their colors. She posts on Instagram, "Pageantry is so expensive, and I wanted to compete and be able to grow and develop skills and create gowns for myself and other people." Some of the best designers are men, are gay men, and a lot of the best dress designers are gay men. It's crazy. I think to this day that baffles me. She will represent Nevada in the 2021 Miss USA pageant being held on November 29th at the Paradise Cove Theater and River Spirit Casino Resort in Tulsa. The Miss Universe pageant system, of which Los Angeles-based Miss USA is part, began allowing transgender entrants in 2012. If she's crowned Miss USA, Enriquez will be the second trans contestant in Miss Universe pageant after Spain's Angela Ponce in 2018. Miss America, a separate organization headquartered in New Jersey, did not immediately reply to an inquiry about whether transgender women or non-binary individuals are allowed to compete in its annual competition. As of 2018, the pageant was reportedly only open to natural-born women, according to The Advocate. And in February, a federal judge upheld the right of another organization, Nevada-based Miss United States of America, to bar transgender contestants from its pageant. This is going to be this is going to change a lot when it comes to Miss USA or Miss America. At least Miss America still has it that they should give it to natural born women. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one that's wrong. I just think that if a competition was started for women by women to be for women, they should continue to allow women to compete. Only women to compete, because it takes away from them. It takes away from natural born women. But that's just my thoughts on this. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for choosing the Conservative Chicanos and the TCB show. I don't know where you guys are watching, but if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, smash that like button, share this video, leave a comment down below. And if you want to help keep the channel alive, donate to the Cash App or the PayPal down below. It really does help the channel. I want to thank you all for choosing these channels. I hope you have a good day. God bless. And as always, deuces.